Ladies and gentlemen, this is Bill Hamilton, country boy from Old Hickory, Tennessee, coming back to you. This time, ladies and gentlemen, because we have so many people joining us on our weekly Sunday night call and so many people tuning in to our YouTube videos for the very first time, hearing me for the very first time, I want to do a quick review of 21 basic wealth principles. A quick review of our 21 basic wealth principles. Now, there are many more, but I just want to give you an overview of our 21 basic wealth principles so that if you have not been with us, you get caught up all at once, all right? Number one, no gambling. No gambling. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to increase your wealth, if you want to be one of the 10 million millionaires in America, and you are a basic job to job person, hard-working you may or may not have a college degree. Ladies and gentlemen, still you can get to be one of the 10 million millionaires in America because a pretty significant percentage of them do not have a college degree. So if you've made some mistakes in your past, it doesn't matter. You can start right where you are right now and still create wealth and become one of the more than 10 million millionaires in America. Number one, as I said, no gambling. Ladies and gentlemen, gambling is for suckers, all right? As I said before in one of my previous videos, one of the casino owners was quoted as saying the only way to win the casino business, the only way to win at that business is to own the casino. Lottery, scratch-offs, that's mess, ladies and gentlemen. Organized crime started that back in the 1920s. Made so much money at it that the government decided, ooh, this is a good idea. We're going to put organized crime out of business in what then was called numbers running, and we're going to adopt that practice for ourselves, and we're going to call it the educational lottery. One state has the nerve, the gall to call theirs the educational lottery. But if you ask them how much money is being generated by your educational lottery every year, they won't tell you. They don't break it out. And if you ask them, show us the amount of money that you are giving to education every year that comes directly from the lottery, over and above what the legislature has allocated to education in the first place. They won't break that out. The educational lottery. Are you kidding me? You're being pimped. Number two, no car note. That's right. I said no car note. One of our basic wealth building principles. Oh, it took me way too long to learn this. And I'm just going to hit these quickly, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to stay there. If you want to see where I talk about a car note, if you want to see where I talk about buying and purchasing a car, how to do it and so forth, go and watch one of my YouTube videos on that. I've got videos on that entire subject, all right? No car note. The car note that you have when you meet me, when you see me for the first time, should be the last car note that you ever have for the rest of your life. And certainly buying no new cars, you're being pimped, just like I was. I had a new car every year. Thought I was super bad. Yeah. The only person I was super bad for was the bank, baby, all right? In my depreciating ride that depreciated 25 to 30% before I drove it off the lot. Sucker, that's what I was, stone sucker. Now I don't play that game. Haven't had a car note since my wife and I can remember. No car note. I can take your car note, as I did on one of my other videos, and show you how I can use your car note to make you a millionaire. Take a look at my video on how to reduce the amount of time that you take to pay for your mortgage, reducing a mortgage from 30 years down to 15 years. Take a look at my video on that subject. I take your car note and make you a millionaire. No car note. Number three, no waste. one of the basic principles that my mom and daddy taught me way back before I can even remember. No waste. Son, we're poor in this house, my daddy said. We sure don't have enough money to be throwing anything away. Back then, in Tennessee, ladies and gentlemen, they had things called cans where you put your waste food, and my uncle owned hogs in the community. And my uncle would go around the entire community every Saturday and dump out the cans where people had put their waste food, okay? Their leftovers and the food that they were throwing away. But my daddy said, and my uncle lived right across the street from us. My daddy said to my uncle, you don't come by my house, okay? Don't come by our house, because we don't have a can of waste food. We don't throw away food, okay? We eat food up in here. And my daddy said to me one day, son, do you realize that every egg that they threw away cost the same amount of money at the store of the eggs that we eat? Son, we don't make enough money here to be wasting anything. And then as I continued to read the scripture and understood the Lord's guidance, the Lord's guidance is that I will bless you, but I don't want you to misuse and waste my blessings. Do not waste. Number 4, vote. 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 One of the things, ladies and gentlemen, that unempowered people don't do and that poor people don't do is they don't vote. Yet they complain that the roads on my side of town, they don't look as nice as the roads on the other side of town. Well, let me give you a hint. On the other side of town, they vote. Where the roads are all torn up in the worst condition that they are, that's where they don't vote. Because if the politicians won't fix the road on their side of town, they vote them out of office. But if you don't even vote, the powers to be don't fear you. Shucks. Vote. 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 This ought not be too difficult. A lot of people paid a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and even their lives, particularly for African Americans, for your and my ability to vote. As my daddy would say, it's a sin and a crying shame for an election to come up and we not take the opportunity to vote. For too many years, they wouldn't let you vote. Got to come down here, you got to take a test before you can vote, even after we were allowed to vote. All kind of mechanisms to try to prevent African Americans, particularly, from voting. And you mean we're going to stand aside leisurely and of our own volition, not vote? And you can't figure out why you're in the quagmire that you're in? Number 4, vote. Number 5, buy quality and take impeccable care of it. Buy quality and take impeccable care of it. Something else my mother and daddy taught me. Oh, we don't have much. We don't have much. One of the things that's pervasive in the African American community, in our upbringing, ladies and gentlemen, we believed in buying quality. Oh, even before you learned to walk, mom and daddy in my community didn't have a lot of money. But we're going to get that boy, we're going to buy that girl, we're going to some stride rights. Oh, that's the kind of shoes I want my son in. That's the kind of shoes I want my daughter in. I want my child in some shoes that are going to be quality shoes, that are going to be protective of their feet. Buy quality and take impeccable care of it. So once you get the quality, once you get the stride right shoes, once you get the Lexus automobile, or maybe the BMW or the Mercedes-Benz, you take impeccable care of it. It is pathetic to see Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, BMWs driving up and down the highway, fenders all flapping in the breeze, smoking all out of the tailpipe. You can tell they haven't changed the oil since they had it. Dirty, grimy on the inside and on the outside. Pathetic. You're going to drive in a Lexus, a BMW, or Mercedes-Benz, an Audi, a Rolls-Royce, a Bentley, and you're not going to take care of it? Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, every time anybody would see my Rolls-Royce, oh, it was looking good. Always looking good. Ladies and gentlemen, on the outside and on the inside. Poor boy from Old Hickory, Tennessee. Always said, one of these days, want to have myself a Rolls Royce. Ladies and gentlemen, you get something quality and you take impeccable care of it, and it'll last you for the rest of your life. My wife and I have the philosophy, I want to buy this one time. Okay? Furniture. Quickly, mattresses. Why are there mattress stores on every corner? Are you kidding me? Because they're selling cheap mattresses. A quality mattress, you don't have to replace them every 4 or 5 years. Rooms ago got the nerve, the gall, the audacity to advertise on TV. Come down here and finance a mattress for 8 years. 8 years. Financing a what? Not a BMW, not a Mercedes-Benz, not a Lexus, not a Rolls, not a Bentley, but finance a mattress for 8 years. And then they say behind that, oh, by the way, you need to replace your mattress every 8 years. So just as soon as you make your last payment, come down here and buy another one and finance it for another 8 years. Have you seen that rooms to go ahead? Are you flat out of your mind? Buy a quality mattress that will last you for 25 years. That's right. I've got mattresses in my house right now. 25 years. You don't replace mattresses every 4 or 5 years, not quality mattresses. Number 6. Minimum credit card use. Minimum credit card use. One of the reasons that people get into so much debt, they're pulling out the plastic all the time. No. You need to go back to debit card spending and cash spending. You see, if you're doing debit card spending and cash spending, see, I don't have to convince you not to have a car note. Because if you're spending cash money for your car, I don't have to tell you to buy quality and take impeccable care of it. Oh, you're going to take care of it. You spent cash money for that automobile like I spend for mine. Oh, you're going to take impeccable care of it. Minimum credit card use. Number 7. No borrowing from your 401k. No borrowing from your 401k. Particularly, ladies and gentlemen, if you work for a corporation or a company that has some kind of matching policy for their 401k. Do not borrow from your 401k, period. There's got to be an extreme emergency. Somebody's about to die before you borrow from your 401k. There are folks, particularly in the African American community, borrowing from their 401k to go out and buy a new car. Are you flat out of your mind? That shows they got no concept whatsoever of wealth building. Do not borrow from your 401k. I'll spend much more time on that in other videos dedicated to it. Number 8, no eating out while in desperation or tight stage. No eating out. Stay out of Golden Corral. Stay out of the Cheesecake Factory. Stay out of Red Lobster. Stay out of there. You in desperation or tight stage. You living from paycheck to paycheck. Cook at home, ladies and gentlemen. My wife and I still do that today. We can go to any restaurant we please. Have any meal or any expense that we so choose. Yet, we cook at home. Don't throw that money away. Living from paycheck to paycheck. USA Today said the average American does not have $400 for an emergency that comes up. $400. If a $400 emergency comes up, according to USA Today, the survey said most people will have to borrow the money from a credit card. That's right. Every time you spend a credit card, you're borrowing money. Borrow money from a friend. And the USA Today article said many of them just decide to ignore the emergency altogether because they don't have $400 for an emergency. Yet, they're down to Cheesecake Factory, Golden Corral, Red Lobster. Are you flat out eating at McDonald's every day? Huh? What Starbucks? Are you flat out of your mind? Ladies and gentlemen, quick review of 21 basic wealth principles. No eating out when you're in desperation or tight stages. And I will define those stages in much more detail in some of our other videos. However, to make it simple, if you live in paycheck to paycheck, if you can hardly pay your bills, if when you get paid the next time you're out of money, you're living either in desperation stage or tight stage. So you need to be preparing all of your food at home, including all of the food for your children needs to be prepared at home. Number 9, talking about children. Number 9, children make financial requests or suggestions. Children do not make financial decisions. Let me say that again. There are way too many folk in America making this mistake. Children don't make financial decisions. Children don't decide what you're going to buy. Oh, a 9-year-old said, oh yeah, I'm going to have those tennis shoes, those $200 tennis shoes. They even advertise on TV, children making decisions on what car the parents are going to buy. Are you flat out? Children don't make financial decisions. Children make suggestions. Children make requests. But children don't make financial decisions. In fact, let me make this very simple for you. Anybody who's not bringing finances into the house only make suggestions, recommendations, and requests. They don't make decisions. Decisions are made by those folk who are making the money, the golden rule. Those who have the gold rule, those who are making the gold rule. In my house, my daddy and my mama made all of the decisions. Why? They were the only ones working. Dadgummit, I wasn't working. I could tell my mom and daddy what I would like, what it would be nice to have, but I didn't make any decisions. In our house, our children didn't make any financial decisions. They made requests with a smile. But mom and daddy made the financial decisions. You'll be broke forever if the folk in your household not responsible for any income or making financial decisions. This ought to be pretty simple. But you'd be surprised how many people are making that mistake. Number 10, a reverse mortgage should only be used for a grave emergency of an elder. A reverse mortgage should only be used for a grave emergency for an elder. Example, one of the elders in the house, mama or daddy, needs to go into an assisted living facility. They are very expensive. You go into an assisted living facility one or two ways. Either you pay for it or the government paid for it. Either you pay for it or the government pays for it. and you don't want the government to pay for it. If the government pays for it, you've got to prove that mama and daddy own absolutely nothing. And if they do own something, you got to sell it all and sell them down to zero. I don't have time to go into that right now, but that's called a major emergency. That's the kind of emergency that mama and daddy's house can be used as an asset for, by taking out a reverse mortgage and therefore paying that $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 a month and up. Nursing home and assisted living costs. Very, very expensive. That's the kind of use that should be reserved for a reverse mortgage. Or major medical bills is another example. Number 11, never spend anticipated money. Oh, this is a mistake that I made very often in life. In my younger life, ladies and gentlemen, while I was working in corporate America, I knew I was an outstanding employee. I knew I worked well. I knew I performed well. As I said before, ladies and gentlemen, I'd go to work on some of my jobs before the sun came up in the morning, like Xerox Corporation in Rochester, New York, and I wouldn't leave work until after the sun came down at night. When I was operations manager of the largest plant in the world for Xerox Corporation in Rochester, New York, I was always at work. I knew my performance was outstanding. I paid attention to it. And that's what I recommend to each and every one of you. Not that you work from sun up to sundown necessarily, but that if you have a job, be an outstanding performer on that job, as I said in one of our previous videos. But in doing so, I knew I was going to get a nice raise come evaluation time. So one of the major mistakes that I made, if I knew I was going to get a 10% raise, in some stupid examples, I would then decide that in 2 months I'm gonna have this 10% raise. So woo, look at that next ride. I mean, I have a nice ride now, but I can afford a nicer ride, a better ride. I can buy me a new car right now, okay, and commit that raise that I'm gonna get 2 months from now. It's gonna cover it, so I'll be right back to where I am now, but I can be riding in a new car right now. So therefore, I would spend my raise before I even received it. Can you say stupid? Can you say fool? Number 11 says, never, ever, ever spend anticipated money. Only spend the money that has already hit your hand, that has already hit your bank account, and then think twice before you spend it. As in 10-10-80. Number 12. $1,000 minimum emergency fund, absolutely, positively mandatory. $1,000 emergency fund minimum is absolutely, positively mandatory. If you don't have $1,000 in your emergency fund. USA Today study, as I said earlier, said that the average American doesn't even have $400 in their emergency fund. If you don't have at least $1,000 in your emergency fund, then you need to stop what you're doing right now and dedicate all your strength and energy into getting $1,000 for your emergency fund. Because I can promise you one thing. The emergency is coming. I don't know when, I don't know where, I don't know what type, I don't know what color is going to come in, whether it's going to come in black and white, paisley, pastel, but it's coming. The only question is, are you ready or not? $1,000 minimum emergency fund is absolutely, positively mandatory. And that's not even the desired amount of money for your, that's a piddly nothing. $1,000 is nothing. But it's amazing how many people don't even have the $1,000. Yet, the 25 most popular apps, the 25 largest grossing apps according to a Google search, are games. Folks don't have $1,000 for an emergency, but they're playing games. Don't have $1,000 for an emergency, yet they're playing fantasy football. How about a new game for you? I want to start today. How about a game called Fantasy Rich? Dadgummit. Let's work on something that's important. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the final one in this segment. $1,000 minimum emergency fund, absolutely, positively mandatory. This is part one of quick review of 21 basic wealth principles. This is Bill Hamilton, country boy from Old Hickory, Tennessee. Take it to the bridge.